Hello. Yesterday I finished the fruit / juicing thing that I was doing, and so I finally did it for 10 days in total. I hadn't lost any more weight, but I've had some really good insight while I was doing it, okay? But I just want to say the reason I stopped yesterday, I was going to keep going, but yesterday when I was in town, I had an incident in my car, and like the insurance company is going to call it an accident, but I would say I just accidentally scraped the side of this guy's car, and like my energy levels were good, my mind I thought was clear, but I wondered if my juice fruit cleanse had anything to do with my lapse in judgment at that moment. So that kind of scared me into cutting the juice fruit thing short. Okay, so last night I just ate some chopped up raw tomato and some cooked onions, okay? Anyway, but I've had some really good insight while I was on that fast, and I want to share that with you. It's not really a fast, okay? But anyway, first of all, my energy levels remained relatively good while I was having this restrictive diet, okay? And when I told my friend last night, she was like, oh, it's all the sugar you were eating. I know that that's not, you could think it was from all the sugar I was eating, but from my experience, I know it wasn't that, because in the past, I have drunk 2 litres of green / fruit juice a day, and I have eaten fruit, and I have had really low, I have struggled with energy level issues, okay? And, okay, so it wasn't that. And then I could have thought, oh, it's all the greens I was drinking, because also I have a journal article which talks about how high nitrogen containing vegetables increase mitochondrial efficiency in humans, which means it increases your energy levels, and greens contain a lot of nitrogen. But I knew it wasn't that either, okay, because again, in the past I have had a lot of greens in my diet, and I have still struggled with energy level issues, okay? The only things I've noticed until this fruit juice cleanse that I did that improved my energy levels was eating starch. I have been through a period in my life for quite some time where I restricted starches entirely, where I didn't have them at all in my diet, okay? Where I was eating essentially like a raw vegan minus a lot of nuts and seeds, like I was low fat, like low overt fat and starch free, except that I was cooking my vegetables, okay? So I was eating cooked vegetables, raw vegetables and fruits, okay? And during that period, my energy, even though I was eating fruit all day and I was juicing greens and having green juices, my energy levels, actually I struggled with energy levels still though. They remain quite low, okay? So I knew it wasn't that, the sugar thing. And again, because I had always eaten a lot of greens, and I've still during periods struggled with energy level issues, I knew it wasn't the greens. What I realized was that, but I know when I eat starches in my diet, like for the last few months I've eaten starches probably twice a day, like rolled oats in the morning with fruit, and you know, potato and salad for lunch or dinner, you know, and maybe even another starch like sweet potato and vegetables, you know, I was eating a fair bit of starch, and I noticed that really did improve my energy levels, okay? And also I wasn't eating all the time like I did when I had a fruit-based diet, like where I had no starches, okay? Like I find that the starches satiate me much more and just don't make me feel hungry as much, because I know that they're made up of complex sugars and they take longer to break down in the body, and they just do satiate you for longer, okay? John McDougall talks about that. So I was expecting on this juice / fruit cleanse to lose all my energy, okay, because of my previous experience, but after a couple of days I realized my energy levels were remaining quite good, and I realized that for me, based on all my experience, I think that it was because suddenly my body wasn't using all its energy to constantly digest a lot of food like I normally eat. so, because even when I was eating starches, I'd still eat quite large meals, and you know, for the next 5 hours my body's busy digesting that. And when I was eating no starches, and I was eating fruit all day because I was never satiated, right? So, as well as vegetables, and so I was eating all day. So I've always overate, really, as a low-fat, high-carb vegan, but also before I became a vegan, because I restricted starches, I was always hungry and always eating as well. But anyway, so I think I've just always overate, and I can get away with being slender as a low-fat, high-carb vegan and eating heaps, you know, just because of the low-calorie content of the food I eat. So I was just shocked, and it was honestly after a couple of days of being on relatively low amounts of fruit compared to what I normally eat, and these juices, how much of a relief it was in my digestive system. Just my stomach and my intestines were like telling me, please don't ever eat again, this is just such a relief for us. That's how it felt. And the other thing that I noticed was that because I'm always, I guess, full of food normally, I noticed after maybe 5 days of having this restricted diet that my posture was different. Like, I realized that normally, because I'm always full of food, I'm always kind of hunched over, like, you know, the fullness in my stomach is pulling my chest forward and kind of hunching me over a bit more, and having less food in my digestive system helped me to, you know, lift my whole body up and, you know, help my lumbar spine go back to a good lordosis, you know, because I felt like I wasn't being pushed out and compressed in the spine as much. So that was a really good insight too, and that can be very helpful when I'm doing my yoga stretches and, you know, back bends and stuff like that. My knee's a little bit better. It's still a problem. I think I definitely did too much stretching during that, too much wrong stretching after the initial injury. Anyway, I'm still dealing with that. It's a bit better, but it's also because I haven't been doing the twisting and stuff on my knee that I had been doing, but it's not healed anyway. So that also could be from, well, anyway, I think I just probably did too much with it. I should have rested it more in the early stages. But so yeah, that's my insights. So just checking my list. So now what I'm going to do, well, I don't feel like eating starches. I ate a few pumpkin seeds last night because I'm always, like I said, aware of the zinc content in the food. And I'll probably start eating more whole vegetables. I still totally don't feel like eating, but I'm going to eat probably more whole vegetables, and I'm still gonna have the juices because I've got a lot of greens. I've still got a lot of carrots and apples that are in storage that I need to get through. So I'll at least do a bit of a juice, continue to do a juice fest until I clear that stuff out a bit more, and I'll still eat fruit. So, but what I'm gonna try and do consciously is just try to eat less at every meal. You know, even like this morning after the tomatoes and that last night, now this morning my stomach is grumbling, it feels hungry, it wants more food, but I'm just thinking, but at the same time my digestive system still feels good, that it's relatively empty compared to normal. So yeah, I think the lesson in this is that I'm going to try to consciously not overeat for every meal, okay? So we'll see how we go with that. Anyway, and yeah, so I don't know when I'm going to reintroduce starches. We'll see. We'll see how I go. But all right, well, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you later.